everyone, welcome to Title Tassel with Asantua. I'm Mariam, your host, and this is Did You Know This? Did you know that your life can take a twist of fate and land you in unimaginable pleasant places? What you become is not always clear early on in life. Our guest today holds a Bachelor's Degree in Chemistry and a Master's in Food Quality Management, all from the Marmon-Halm University of Science and Technology in Ghana. He has a decade's experience in chocolate making and quality assurance and has worked with a couple of chocolate companies in Ghana. He is currently the Managing Director of FairAfric, the first large-scale organic chocolate manufacturing company in Ghana. With determination, hard work, and passion for excellence, he has led his team to achieve a lot of success in the chocolate industry, both locally and abroad. Our guest was recently named the winner of the manufacturing category of the 40 Under 40 Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Mr. Marmon-Halm. So welcome, Michael, to Title Tassel.
Thank you.
Kindly share with me and the viewers and listeners anything else you'd like to add to my introduction.
Well, I would say I'm a family man.
Okay.
And I have two lovely boys, Mitchell and Miguel. And
All named after you?
All named after me in a very, very bizarre circumstance.
Would you like to share that?
Well, sure. I think that in our quest to have kids, I was always hoping that I get a girl first. And my wife, Audrey, wanted a boy first. So we had this bet. Whoever gets the sex right gets to name the kids.
Okay.
And obviously she won.
Okay.
So she chose the names by herself.
Okay.
And funny enough, I probably think I may have made so much impact in her life that she named all the kids after Michael in different country names.
Yes.
So
Does she get to take the middle names, or she doesn't have any name coming from her?
No, she gives the first names,
Okay.
and then my dad gave the middle names.
Okay.
Yes. So Mitchell is Mitchell Jomo Marmon-Halm. Jomo meaning blessing,
Okay.
and that was from my father. And then Miguel Anunyam. Anunyam means grace, and that was also from my father.
That's nice to know, and a nice way to start the conversation. So I know you did a Bachelor's Degree in Chemistry, and I would like to find out at what point you had an interest in food science and even chocolate making.
Okay. So the company I worked for, Commodities Processing Industry, which later got changed to Niche Cocoa, was processing cocoa beans into semi-finished products, cocoa liquor, cocoa butter, and cocoa cake and powder. And at that point, there was the absence of one platform that combined both academic perspective to industry position. And within the quality assurance department where I found myself, it was becoming interesting that we needed to completely fill this gap. And so I took advantage. By then, KNUST had also rolled out an IDL program in food quality management, and it best fits the particular gap that was missing at that point.
All right. So you had some postgraduate experience in the field of chocolate making, and you saw a niche of upgrading yourself and then filling that space. Apart from this master's degree, have you done any other training to equip you more as a chocolate maker, if I should say so?
Yes. I was able to find myself in two countries, Netherlands, Wageningen University, where I studied food safety and traceability, which also ties directly into quality assurance processes, and then also to Igom Agriculture College in Denmark, also to understudy food safety, because it goes beyond just making edible nice chocolates. Like, there must be a food safety approach to the entire process and the product as well. So I took the opportunity to also study these courses independently to also upgrade myself. And then finally, I think 2 years ago, I also studied project management.
Oh.
Because then, at some point you may want to be more of a consultant, trying to sit on the touchline and then give instructions on projects. So I developed that interest and also read a course in project management.
All right. So now let me bring you to your present. Managing Director of FairAfric Ghana Limited. How did it happen?
Well, after 10 years, I felt I had served enough at my previous organization. So I decided to do something new. I didn't have what to do in mind, I must be frank, but I knew that it was just about time to change the environment. So I resigned. It didn't come easy, but I did. And then a friend of mine who was a German who had met 4 years before my resignation, he had interest in producing chocolate here in Ghana, and he had been brought to me to assist. So I had helped him in a couple of things, and we had grown our friendship beyond business. And so when I was about quitting, he was also about starting a chocolate factory. But because of the challenges with doing business here in Ghana, he had approached me and said, look, I don't trust anybody else in this country but you. Are you available to help me do this? And yes, it just best fits the circumstance I found myself in, and we began the journey together.
All right, fantastic. What are some of the personal traits you have, soft skills and leadership qualities acquired over the years that you think are coming in very handy in your delivery as a managing director currently?
All right, from an operational position, within the 10 years, I was able to move in between all the departments. So from quality assurance to quality control to production to supply chain to customer relations, I think I developed all the individual required skill to have an overview of an entire process.
So you have a complete understanding of how the system works.
Exactly. So picking bits and pieces and connecting the dots was what I developed within the 10 years. But obviously within that period, I really didn't know this was going to happen, and I really felt derailed because then every day was a change. Like the CEO comes and keeps moving me across departments, and I was very, very angry about it, I must confess.
But now looking back, I'm sure you find it a blessing actually to have gone through that kind of checkered past.
Exactly. Because starting at FairAfric with a staff strength of just 2, everything else depended on me. And through the previous knowledge in all these various sections, I was able to play it out as though we were 1,000. Yeah.
Can you share with us the beginnings of FairAfric and then where you are at the moment?
FairAfric has started producing chocolate through tolling partners as far back as 2016. So the first project was to work with the government chocolate maker CPC, and that didn't turn out too well. And then they partnered a private enterprise where I worked, and it went on for about 3 consecutive production cycles, and then it came to an abrupt stop. Like there were challenges that couldn't be fulfilled. So,
which year was this?
And this was the production started in 2016 and ended in 2019. And so, like looking at the challenges that the organization had seen, they felt motivated to have their own factory. And in 2020, they broke grounds to construct their own factory. The unique thing about this was that it was just at the point when the pandemic itself had also struck. And so, like, borders were closed, economic activities had just been stopped, and there was lockdown here and there. And this was the same time we were supposed to build our factory.
Yeah, how challenging was that? Or how easy was that? I don't know. Was it an advantage that everything was locked down, or it was a disadvantage?
Well, the only advantage I saw in this is that the lockdown and the economic situation put everybody in a certain perspective. So people really didn't know something was going on. I think sometimes you need to start very quiet, then you can focus and not get distracted. So that part was the advantage part, but the disadvantage was countless. Like, imagine we had to fly in the equipment manufacturers through the airports, which was obviously closed, and we are talking about just 5 engineers. And we are asking for a national airport to be open just because of us.
Yeah, that is something else. How did it happen? Did you have to work through the ministries?
Well, I went beyond the ministries. I actually sat in front of the president and said, "Hello, sir, we really need to do something about this." And he was so convinced and actually opened the airport for us.
That is great. What about the ports? Because I know not all the equipment or the infrastructure you set up there were, created from inside Ghana. You had some shipped over. So did you follow the same protocol in getting
Well, luckily during the lockdown, the ports were running.
Okay.
The ports were running. The only problem through the ports was that the countries where some of these things were coming from had been badly hit by the virus. They had really slowed down and everything. So timeline management was a problem. Yes, and that's the major challenge we face with the ports.
Okay. So now you have gone through all these challenges you have set up. Where are you now? FairAfric.
Now I would say we've produced 3 million chocolate bars already.
Wow.
We've been able to export more than 98% of these volumes to Europe, and have been able to sell 2% here in Ghana. 2% being that we are taking the brand from crawling, walking, running position, because Ghanaians by nature are not too chocolate oriented, because it's normally assumed to be a luxurious product. So, yeah, it's like the average Ghanaian would want to fill his belly
first with some
before thinking of desserts. Yeah, so it's something that we are gradually opening up to.
Would you also say that because those who are even into chocolate are used to the traditional chocolate on the market and probably are not open to a new brand? Is it conceivable?
It is, and because we haven't had too many varieties on the shelf, everybody just knows Golden Tree, for example. Everybody just is forced to like it because it's the only thing available. Yes,
like me. I tested yours. Every time I travel, I buy Golden Tree and then I give it to guests, people I meet on the way. My own way of marketing Ghana to the world. So now I think I will add FairAfric. Unfortunately, I haven't traveled since you came out. Yeah, so I am still wondering, how did you manage to enter the international market? What were some of the requirements, both technically and then scientifically or research-wise, that you had to, the milestones you had to achieve in order to be accepted on the international market?
Okay, so because chocolate is actually well understood in Europe, first of all, we had to understand how to make good chocolate. Chocolate that is totally different from what we have seen being done here. So there was a lot of research into understanding the properties of well-made chocolate. We spent time to understand how good chocolate actually behaves. Then, coupled with the basic trade requirements, for example, food quality management certification. So we had invested in setting up an independent food safety management system that will always give a third-party assurance that what we are producing is safe. So these were some of the elements that we put together to be able to push our products out there. I would say that it didn't start easy because obviously Ghana is not known for chocolate, although it's known for cocoa. So seeing the products from Ghana will give an eyebrow like what is this? Like, okay. Then the next question is it safe? Because unfortunately we've always been labeled and tagged in a certain unique way. So we also needed not so pleasant, I must say. So we needed to drop that tag as well. And yeah, so by doing that, interacting more with the people who really consume this and doing exactly what meets the requirements, I think this was our success story.
All right, great. Would you like to mention some of the specific certifications that you have achieved?
Yeah, so locally we had to comply with FDA regulations, so our facility and products are all registered under FDA. And then also for international market space, we also went in for organic certification with Control Union. and then finally with FSSC 22000 2018 version of the food safety management system.
Quite recent.
Yeah, quite recent. And the nice thing about it is that prior to the audit, we were served a standard to use, and this was version 4. And so we had prepared with version 4 all through the process, only to be told there was a new version 5 that came up just 2 weeks to the audit.
But we managed to audit you based on
version 5. But we still managed to pull through.
That is great. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
I would like to find out again what some of the challenges you are facing are and how you have managed to navigate. Because a young company, leading a young company, a young man yourself, would you like to share some of the challenges and how you have overcome?
From an operational level, I think that one of the main challenges, and because of our geographical location, has been power.